Thank you, Ken. And, whenever a elected official comes to the podium and says, "I'll be brief," that's change. That's dangerous, but I will be brief. Ken and I met, I think, in Phoenix the first time
Probably.
during the planning convention down there. And I appreciate all your work on that. Dave, I appreciate all your work. You are really working hard on this, and thumbs up to you. I appreciate that. But just a brief, where we are in South Carolina, and one thing, Rob, you said something about wasteful and destructive spending. I mean, that's a big thing to talk about. Dave Walker, you were talking about the numbers. The one thing I do when I talk to groups is I talk about the numbers. Well, when you talk about trillions of dollars and millions of dollars, the average person just does not understand that. It doesn't mean anything to their pocket. But if I use numbers that we're using today, the 28.5, or if I use the 102 number that you use, and I did the math on this, and I hope I did the math on this right, just so the average person, and this, when I'm talking to other legislators in South Carolina, when I'm talking to people, this is where they really stop back and they say, "Hey, really, what's going on?" And they stop and look and they say, "That's unbelievable." But if you use the 28.5 trillion, that's $86,000 per person in the United States. So that's not 86 per household, that's 86 per person. So multiply that by 4 if you got 4 in the household. If you use the 102 number, that's $309,000 per person that we're in debt or unfunded liabilities, I'd like to call them. I mean, that's what really, people understand that. They understand the need for it. Jim DeMint, I heard him say not too long ago that the fear of a runaway convention is not the fear of us not balancing our budget and getting our financial country in order and where we're going on this. But we've been working on this in South Carolina. The South Carolina House has passed this bill and sent it over to us, an Article 5 bill. We've had debate on it in the Senate conference or in the committees in the Senate. I think we're moving forward. We've actually got 22 out of 46 senators that have signed on this bill as sponsors. So I feel real good. I think we'll have it up in January. I'm gonna ask Congresswoman Harrell, and I'm asking our congresspeople, our congressmen and congresswomen from South Carolina, go ahead and sign on that bill with her, because I feel like that would be good. We're working with the governor's office right now, trying to coordinate where we're going to be moving forward. I think in January, February, there's a very likely, and I'm very hopeful chance that we'll pass this out of the Senate. It'll probably change a little bit from what the House sent us. We'll send it back over there and hopefully we can get it passed then, and they'll concur with our amendments, or we might go back and forth a little bit. But I really am very comfortable with believing that sometime in the spring that we'll have this Article 5 bill passed in South Carolina, and we can start moving forward with some demands in Washington. So that's where we are with that. I hope that at least answers the questions on where we are in South Carolina, and we're ready to go.
Excellent, Rex. So buckle your chin strap, get your delegates delegate selection process ready, and as we get rolling, this is going to be exciting. This is going to be the greatest practical hands-on civics lesson we have had in our lifetime. Does that not just excite you, that you have the opportunity to actually take the reins and restore balance within our nation and have it begin to function again the way it was intended to? We have one polling question, and then we're going to get to the point that a number of questions have come online. What are the types of proposals that we may expect and look at in a fiscal responsibility amendment? So we have a polling question, and then we'll come as you're responding to that, we'll move to some various proposals and let you look at those, and we'll have some voting on those. Polling question. Let's see. Here we go. Will you encourage your state legislature to pass a new Article 5 balanced budget amendment, and or if you've already passed them, oppose any rescission of any such existing applications? And I got to tell you, I would encourage you to pass a let's talk about anything amendment. I want to talk about that a little bit later, but we should not be afraid to get together as states in a committee, an interstate committee, to talk about anything. So I'd encourage you to do that. But poll is open. Will you encourage your state legislature to pass? And if you've passed already, to oppose any rescission? Go ahead and enter your votes on the poll, and then we will move to, while that's tabulating, while you're working on that, keep putting those in. We are going to move to a segment that many of you have been asking about. What in the world would a fiscal responsibility amendment look like? What practically would there be? I hope you're ready to ask questions about this. This is really the point. When you look at how do you deal with this? Do you just deal with spending limits? There were questions earlier about tax increases. I'm excited to hear what we have next. We have some that you've already heard from today. We have David Walker and Dr. Barry Paulson and David Bidoff to explain some of the different proposals on what a fiscal responsibility amendment would look like. David, are you back? Oh, David's back here. Let's go ahead and call on you first, and we'll move from David Walker to Barry Paulson and then David Bidoff.